right, everybody, welcome back live at Drew's house. Another edition, another music show from the studios in Newburyport. Today, our guest from the North Shore, Tony Figs.
Oh, I'm talking about blues, talking about you. I'm talking about those reasons and all those damn feelings. I'm talking about me not loving you. I'm talking about blue, talking about you. Pick a color, paint a ceiling. Picking poison, what a feeling. Loving you should be easy to do. Whoa, I'm talking about blues, talking about you. I'm talking about those reasons and all those damn feelings. I'm talking about me not loving you. I'm talking about blues, talking about you. What's your passion, oh, what's your desire? And what's the reasoning behind this fire? The coldest flame, just leave me here at bay. Yeah, I'm talking about blues, talking about you, talking about you, talking about blues, talking about you.
Woo, Tony Figs. Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm great to be here. This is awesome.
Sounded good over there. I said a North Shore guy, fellow North Shore guy. I'm from Danvers. You're from Salem, you said?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Awesome
Good to have.
stuff.
Thanks for making your way up to our fine Newburyport studios. You sound good in here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this is awesome.
Good.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to meet you. So tell us a little bit. First time on the show.
First time. That's right.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do we need to know about Tony Figs?
So, Tony Figs is part of a band called Your Favorite Color. Changed up the name a little bit recently. We're trying to get back in the scene. COVID put a huge dent for the music scene for us, but we're making our comeback. We're getting back in the studio. We're doing all the good stuff, but just making our way, playing music in Salem. Usually play around the Derby. I'll be there I'll be there every Saturday, 4 to 7.
Nice.
I'm usually at Village every other week, playing there. I think it's the 11th next week or the 10th. It's a Thursday next week from 9 to 12, so come check it out if you want to come have a good time and have some drinks.
Cool. It's nice. Not a far ride for the Newburyport folks. Hopefully we can get you playing up here a little bit too after this show. That'll be fun. Huh?
That'll be great. Absolutely. That'll be awesome.
I was actually just in Salem yesterday. It's a nice little walking city. I enjoy it very much.
Exactly. It's great. Great little bar hopping city, as I say.
You know, it's funny. We used to go there. That was the place like Danvers guys would go because it's a better downtown. There's more to do than Danvers.
Yeah,
so that's what we used to do back in the day. So still kind of do, to be honest with you. But well, very cool. So how's the band is? I mean, COVID has been tough on all bands, right?
Yes.
So give me that backstory a little bit.
So the backstory of the band, we were in the studios about two and a half years ago. We're getting in there. We're writing our songs. We're doing everything we can do. Then we hear about the whole COVID thing. We're like, oh, it's not going to affect us. And then boom, all of a sudden it hits us. We have people. Well, some of my bandmates, they have some conditions where they just can't take the risk. So we just put a just a pause on it. But we're finally getting the ball rolling. We're finally doing things that are just gonna get YFC out there, and hopefully we can start playing some gigs in the summer and when everything is safe. And that's what we're looking forward to, and that's what I'm excited about.
Excellent.
So.
Is it exciting kind of getting, because I mean, obviously the music industry, musicians got hit so hard with, the quarantine shuts everything down. Is it kind of exciting to just, the idea of just getting back out there and just that sense of new normal, just, you're smiling.
Oh man, brightest smile. It's super exciting. It's one of the best things to do. Like, we love playing out there. We love just seeing people dance and just having a great time. It's just awesome. And when that whole hiatus came, like, we were trying to do the whole Instagram and Facebook Live and all that good stuff, but it's just not the same vibe, not the same feeling. We had some good times out there. and just hanging out and all that good stuff. So
As much as I loved, like we did some music shows, just for this show, I'm in my kitchen, somebody else is playing from their kitchen, and it's like as much as that was okay to get us through, and I appreciated that. It's so nice to see people in person.
it really is.
Yeah, thank you for coming to Newburyport. What's the songwriting style? Do you write most of the band stuff?
So
or?
I do write most of the lyrics, but we all collaborate.
Yeah.
With that song in particular, my bandmate Ben, he wrote the first verse for that, and then I wrote the second verse, and then we kind of all came together and wrote the chorus.
Cool.
But when it comes to the drum beats and everything, we get in the room, we listen to each other, we'll make changes here and there. My buddy Algo, who's our drummer, he's big scene. He loves to. He's an engineer type, we call him. Well, he is an engineer. He records. He does most of the work behind the scenes and on stage. But like he's fantastic, and he's been helping a lot with us. So.
You were strumming a couple of chords as I walked in here today. I think I impressed you by calling out the Head and the Heart.
Yes,
there,
yes,
right?
you did. One of my favorite bands.
Mine
so,
too. Man. Yeah, they're fantastic. One of the last shows I saw before the pandemic closed. It's funny that you realize how much. You just miss concerts when it's all taken away from you.
Yeah,
It's like part of your life. I can't imagine what it's like not being able to somebody who thrives on a stage just having it ripped away. I can't even imagine that feeling.
It was great. Like the whole live thing. It was fun to play, but it's like you don't see the people's expressions. You don't see them singing along.
With the streaming, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. So it was just hard to take in, and you can only be alone for so long. It's one of those things like you're trapped in a room, but you're trying your best to put a smile on people's faces and. It was tough. I'm glad that I feel like we're kind of in the bend, and hopefully music will go out there and people are gonna dance their butt off. So
I remember speaking with Ryan Montbleu on this show. We did a streaming show. He's one of my favorites these days, and he was telling me that he was doing so much streaming that I think his girlfriend was in the house. And like she would like applaud or something, and then he was like, you know what? I almost need to cut out the applause. It sounds like a very sad bar. And I think all musicians know the sound of a very sad bar too.
We do. Absolutely, been there many times.
What is that like? I mean, what's your advice? I always like this for people who have kind of like established and are comfortable in their own skin. What's that advice for like the young musician when they just play in a place that it's just lame?
Just keep trucking. Like it's gonna get better. I've been to bars where there is the bartender just clapping for me or
Man, bartenders always come up. Musicians really appreciate bartenders, don't they?
They're like your fans, like, but they're there, they're giving you drinks, but they're just like being supportive, and they're always very nice. It's actually really nice to do all that. So.
They know the gig. I guess. I guess that's part of being a bartender. Yeah, you know that like you're part of like the musician relationship has to be you're involved in it. I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm taking it upon myself to credit bartenders every show now. I've decided it's like 3 or 4 shows in a row now. So.
Well, I give them shout outs every time I play now. Like so when I go to the Derby.
That is usually what musicians say. They're like, well, I shout them out every show too.
Every single time I get be like, don't forget to tip your bartenders because they're treating you right, so you gotta treat them right. So you just gotta take care of them. So that's it.
Everybody has their line too. It's funny. That's fantastic. And they look after you. You need water. You need
exactly. They're always there for you. It's
losing
awesome.
your voice. They gotta help you out.
Yeah, exactly. Hydrate all the time.
Does that ever happen? You ever lose your voice on stage?
So 2 weeks ago when I was playing.
Oh, sorry for the.
Yeah, exactly. So I unfortunately I got hit with the Omni, and I was just coming back. It was a few weeks. I recovered.
Would you call it the Omni?
Yeah.
The Omicron.
Yeah. So my voice, I was coughing a lot, and I thought my voice was there, and then 1 hour into it, it was just gone. It just like faded. It was cracking. It was just hitting the points that I haven't heard it hit in years. So. It was rough, but you know, once again, for the young ones that does happen to, it's gonna happen. You know, you just gotta push through and we'll figure it out. That's
another teaching tool, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we were talking off the air. We both had COVID around the same time there last in January. And I have that same feeling. Like it's just kind of the breath isn't completely back. And I was mentioning to you, I was not quite back with energy.
Yeah,
exactly. I've heard remember who's the that basketball guy from was it Gobert from the Jazz, like one of the first ones to get it. I remember him talking about it. It took him a long time.
Well, I think it was because he made like a joke of it because he was touching the mic, so then he actually got it, and then he was like, I couldn't come back. He's like, I felt awful in that sense of like not taking it seriously. And then I felt awful of getting sick and not being able to come back right away. It must be really tough too. Like I think Jason Tatum was talking about that,
and Jaden,
right. And I think it's mostly Jason Tatum, but they were saying like because you're playing a high intensity sport where just getting that and just it's affecting your lungs and your heart and just coming back and it's just gonna be tough.
It is.
So-
I mean, that's the sport you need your win for, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
You're right. Tatum's another one. Yeah, I remember that now that you mention it. So
Yeah,
went to the Celtics game last night, actually.
Oh, good game.
It was a good game.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny, but I guess I'm getting I don't know. I don't want to say like old get off my lawn guy, but but I find the whole process of like going in for it was a long day. It
Yeah.
was like it's getting in there, parking, the walk, you do the dinner beforehand. By the time like fourth quarter rolled around, I was like, I am exhausted.
I am ready to go home in bedtime.
Granted, I need more sleep in life, so that's probably my bigger issue if I had to think about it. But I don't know.
I think the same side too. Like about sleep's great. It's, having long days of sleep, it feels good. So I agree.
Absolutely. All right, we'll take one quick break. Be right back. We'll play a couple more songs with Tony Figs in just a moment. All right, back here with Tony Figs. Joining us, North Shore musician, guy from the town over from me. I'm from Danvers. He's from Salem, and here we are in Newburyport. So this is exciting. What has been the most rewarding part of the kind of COVID comeback here for you personally, or the band? Like, what's been the best part?
So the band, they're still we're working the kinks out of that, but coming back into the scene, it's so good to see faces. But not only that, you could tell people were just sick and tired of being in their houses. Yeah. So just them coming out, having a few drinks, and I remember playing a cover at a bar, the Derby, and I remember just the people just get on their chairs and just singing the song and with their beers in their hands and everyone getting into it, and it felt it just felt great to hear people.
Fun audience.
Yeah, it's just like them singing back the lyrics, but them really getting into it, the applause and everything of that sort. So,
do you think people are we keep hearing like people are tipping more at restaurants because they're just more thankful to be out? Do you think people are being better to musicians?
Oh, absolutely. I think they really appreciate it. I remember these parents, they brought their child and she tipped me with a sticker. And it was just a kid singing. And I was like, how did you even find that? And now it's still on my case. I might have faded off, but I remember keeping that. But then being like, thank you for coming out. Like we really appreciate musicians, and people just they just love music being back, or just being in that normal thing. So.
I like to say I didn't take it for granted. I mean, it's such a big part of my life. That's what my wife and I do. We could try to go out and find live music, But like I definitely, when it was taken away, I was like, maybe I did take that for granted a little bit. Like this is brutal not having it, That's crazy.
That's one thing that COVID, I feel like there's a lot of things, the little things in life that people were taking for granted, but then it just put it in reality. It's like, wow, we should probably be thankful for more things. And it's been great. It was different before because I was playing for smaller crowds, but then I started going solo, and now these crowds are getting bigger and bigger, and it's a lot of fun. So.
Is there? Do you prefer band for a solo, or is it just kind of different? They're kind of two different things for you.
Kind of different. When I usually do the solo stuff, I kind of just do a lot of covers. When I'm with the band, we do mostly all of our songs. We have this album already on Spotify. If anyone wants to check it out, it's called Red. We recorded that almost like 7 years ago.
Spotify in the news this week. My goodness.
Oh yeah.
Well, because of the Neil Young thing. He left Spotify or gave him the ultimatum with the Joe Rogan thing.
Yeah.
You've probably all heard enough about that.
Oh,
we won't get into it here. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. Yeah. But so we just played a lot of our songs when we went out, and we're promoting Blue while we're recording, and then and just COVID hit. So, but now like when I go out to Derby, I mix in the originals, but it feels better with the band. It's always the harmonies and the other music, like the bass, the guitars, and everything else. So it's a little bit different, but we'll be back into it. I think it's just a lot of things happened during that time too. My guitar player just had his first baby boy. My piano player, he had also a child, his third daughter. So people are busy with just not with music. So it's just a lot of things to take.
It's tough putting a band together, man.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of people got to do a lot of things other than just music. But.
That's why I know I'm envious. Like, I mean, obviously, when you've made it, life gets a little easier for a lot of reasons. But still, keeping bands together is a hard thing.
It's tough.
I remember, I don't know if it was Springsteen or Jagger, one of those guys was like, bands are hard because it's like, well, one, everybody has to stay alive. Like, like, I mean, that's not exactly the easiest thing in the music, rock and roll, And then it's like, it amazes me, those bands that are still like going out there in their 70s. I don't know.
Well, you hear like bands are like, I remember watching documentary for Tom DeLonge from Blink-182, and he was like, we're just being on tour every single day with the same, like we were friends, but then he You know, you ever been on the same bus for months and months and months with the same person? It's like sometimes you just need your space, and it's like it's not we're not friends. It's just sometimes you just get sick of each other, and that's it. So
Well, it's like I remember Tom Brady saying that. Like, somebody asked him, like, so do you go out to dinner? This was when he was with the Patriots. Do you go out to dinner with like Belichick? Like, do you guys hang out in your own time? He's like, well, no, but like I see him every single day here. You know, it doesn't mean we're not close. It's just like, it's kind of like that relationship.
exactly.
You know?
You're trying to separate. You're just trying like I just need some space, and that's all it is. So
It must be cool to do the solo career too, though, because I mean, obviously you probably get more gigs too, because I mean, places that don't want to fit a band or don't want to pay for a band, or whatever, there you go, you can step in.
exactly. So when it comes to Mercy, I remember my buddy owns the restaurant. And he was like, "Oh, you're gonna play?" And he's like, "I just can't do bands right now." He's like, "I'm just trying to keep it like a quiet afternoon." Because once again, the restaurant's also trying to pick up where they left off. Like, there's a huge hit because of the economy and making money. So they're like, it's cheaper to afford singles than it is to get a whole band when you have to pay everyone. So,
right. Well, there you go. It's good. It's great to be able to have that power. Not everybody can do it. I mean, there are people who will play in bands, but they're like, I don't feel comfortable up there by myself. So I don't know. It's cool that you can do that. You got another one you want to play?
Yeah,
one away?
sure. Absolutely. This one's called Cigarettes.
All right, Tony Figs here on Joppa Afternoon Drive from the studios in Newburyport.
So spark that match, inhale that ash, and turn those lungs and heart so black. But it helps me to relax, but it helps me to relax. And problems soar, let the smoke you blow, and sins linger on, never get old. But it helps me to relax, but it helps me to relax. Whoa, partner in a box helps me calm my thoughts. And I am not what you need, the smoke that you always breathe, miserable in your disguise, clouds of haze and dusty eyes. Whoa, partner in a box helps me calm my thoughts. Partner in the box, whoa, helps me calm my thoughts. Whoa. Partner in a box helps me calm my thoughts. Partner in a box, whoa, helps me calm my thoughts. It 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 helps me calm my thoughts.
Nicely done, Tony Figs.
Thank you.
From our Newburyport studios, Joppa Afternoon. Oh, there you go. You got more applause from outside. Always good when you get the outside the studio applause.
Yeah, exactly.
We should also mention Sarah Blackstone producing our show today. She's been doing a great job, and I'm sure you've all noticed the excellent work she does with the graphics and all that stuff. She's always kind of bringing new dimensions to the show, which is
super
always
awesome.
great
She's always awesome.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you guys know each other way back, right?
Oh yeah, we kick it back. We work together, and everywhere she goes, she brings a smile, and she's just awesome to be around. So
That's
it's great.
nice. The Sarah flattery portion of the show. Very good. Very good. No, seriously though, she does a great job,
Yeah.
and it's great. Not an easy thing to produce these shows. I have the easy part. I always say, just come in and listen to music and ask questions.
Sounds awesome to me.
Some smart, some not so smart. Again, Tony Figs joining us here from Salem, Massachusetts. Did you do a lot of writing during the pandemic? I know a lot of people kind of gave a little more time to do those sorts of things. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually did a lot of writing. I have all my voice notes. I think my box is getting kind of full. So it's
Everybody does that, right? They just do use the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always on you.
So then you just kind of like, what I usually do with my writing process, I kind of like freestyle at first. Like, 'cause I get the guitar flowing, so I'll just like make up lyrics, and then I'll go to my little journal, black journal I call it, and then just write down what I liked and what I didn't like, and then I'll go from there. But yeah, it was a lot of writing.
Lyrics first, then music, you think?
I would say, yeah. I write the guitar first, so I guess I wouldn't say that. I get the melody from the guitar, but I freestyle the lyrics, and then I'd be like, that doesn't work, and then I'll be like, okay, I'll just write down. And then sometimes the guitar fixes. So I guess it's a mixture, because sometimes with Cigarettes, I remember writing the lyrics down first, and then writing the guitar behind it. And then there's other songs where I wrote the guitar first, and then the lyrics came. So I guess it's just how you feel.
It's a
that
legit
day.
mix, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I think that's probably true with. Most of the time I ask that question, some people think they have the right answer all the time, and then like, actually, no, it's not always the case. So I think in most people it probably is a mixture. Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, you hear, you get a rhythm in your head, like, ooh, I can make that into something. Or
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
That's cool. What's the favorite venue to play? Is it somewhere in Salem or somewhere outside?
I think one of my favorite venues to play at was the Middle East was fun. That was a lot of fun. I don't know if it's still. I think it's called Midway. Midway. It was in Somerville. I used to play in Somerville a lot. Yeah, there was a lot of venues. I was like, wow, this is very fantastic. Jungle was fun in Somerville. I was playing there.
Yep.
I remember one of the spots I thought it was kind of fun because it was just like my first start. That's when I think about it. When I was playing with my buddy Jose, my buddy TJ, I was like one of my first opportunities. I was still in college, and it's called the PA Lounge. And you walk in, you're thinking like, oh, it's gonna be this luxurious place. It's like they sold like Celeste pizza in the microwave, and they just had beers. And that was it. And it was just like a lonely stage. It's like, yeah, good luck. And the guy doing the sound checks was like, I don't want to be here, but it's
Celeste pizza and beer. Yeah. That is very interesting.
Exactly. So that
Tough,
was
end up being a tough room.
yeah. It's because you have it's like a strip in Somerville, and in the strip there's other places where they're playing like Irish music, and they're playing covers, and then you just have this spot which has like no sign. It just has like a P, and it says, I think, LOU. So you're like, what is this place? And then, it was kind of disturbing. But you walk in there, and
We'll chalk that up as one of the worst. Worst venues, though. Very good. That is funny. The great thing about living around here, is that there's a lot of really good music cities, Newburyport included. But I mean, even like I was in Portsmouth recently, unbelievable music city that turned into up in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I know.
And Salem's great. You know, it's becoming a lot of them, which I think is very cool. More live music, I always say.
Always.
I wonder if there's gonna be more too. Does it feel like there's more opportunities coming out of this?
I think it's on the way. I feel like because when it came to the Derby, I remember first starting off there, and it was before the pandemic, and he was like, yeah, we'll do this here and there, and then the pandemic hit, and then he's like, yeah, play. And he's like, all right, how about you play every Saturday? And
Really?
I was like, all right. I started off every Sunday, then football started, and he's like, let's not do Sundays, let's do Saturdays. And then, but he's like, I want music.
You don't love competing against the Patriots?
Those fans are ruthless. If they want to do one thing, it's one thing only. I remember one time when guys getting mad because I think the Patriots are playing Saturday, and I was ending the set. I wasn't even like, they just started. I was about to end, and he's like, you better turn that off. And I was like, oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah. Like, so
the music that I pour my heart and soul into and make a career out of. Thank you, sir.
So
appreciate your understanding.
I guess they love little Bill Belichick, so like, over music. So it is what it is. So, but
I would have. I have a feeling you probably kept your composure better than I would have done in that situation. My goodness, that's like the most disrespectful thing.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
People love their football.
They sure do. They sure do.
Was that like a couple weeks ago Saturday?
No, that was like
Years ago.
like in the beginning,
Yeah.
and beginning of the season. So like I think it was in November or maybe October.
Because we had they had a Saturday game. I had a similar story of so actually I think they moved the Patriots game to the Saturday towards the end of the season, and I think one of our artists that we recently had on here was like, yeah, so I had a Saturday gig, and then they just like, yeah, you're canceled. Patriots game got moved. So,
They get mad. I remember one story the manager of the Derby was telling me. It was when the soccer was on, and they were playing. Like I wasn't playing. They just had the radio on.
Is that one of those soccer bars in Salem?
It was just like it used to be like it used to be Tavern Square, which is like the bar for sports, and then he wants to make it more like not just. For
so Derby is the old tavern.
Yes.
Right on the corner there.
Yes.
Oh, so that's that big place.
Exactly,
Gotcha,
exactly.
okay.
So it used to be a sports bar. It's still the same thing, but it's just a different name. But he's like, I don't want to make it all. Like, I want to make it more about the food, about like the environment. But people still go there for sports.
Yeah.
So this kid gets mad because the soccer game's on, but the radio's on. He's like, can you turn off the radio and turn the volume on? And he's like, no, this isn't a sports bar. So he goes on Yelp and complains about it, and then he gives him bad, and so he's like, now I have to play the music. I mean, I have to play the sports over the loudspeakers. That was one of the main reasons too.
Because of the one kid.
Yeah, because it just got bad reviews from everyone. How like it's just people just.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so people just being rude, ungrateful. So it's just people were trapped. I feel like when people were trapped for so long, I think a lot of them lost their manners.
Like on planes, for instance.
Yeah.
I just read another one at Logan today. Like another person fighting about didn't want to wear the mask on a plane. It's like, will you just wear the mask and take the flight? My goodness.
It's wild. It's like just fall a little bit. Like it's not about you anymore. It's about like everyone else. If people don't feel safe around you without a mask, just do it. It's just a flight. You don't have to do it for the whole time.
I had a frequent flyer on here one day, more frequent than me. I have dogs, so they keep me at home a lot. But and he was, I was like, it's amazing how people will just lose their minds on planes. Like just treat flight attendants just like not human beings. Like who treats people? And he was like, you know what? I think a lot of it is too. And he's like, I've seen those moments. And this is my buddy Francois, who was sitting in your seat, and he goes, I've been traveling so much, and I think it is because just the stress of flying. Like it's just, I think it really works people up, whether it be the check-ins and it's just a long process, and then you get on the plane and people are freaked out of flying sometimes too. It's just one of those things.
It's just like a bunch of everything just into one pot. So it's just
that does not excuse.
No, because now with the card mandate, it's wild. So I was eating breakfast in Salem at the Ugly Mug. Great food, awesome place. And I remember a couple. They come in, he's like, oh, can we just see your card? It's like, by the way, like these restaurants don't want to be, like they have to follow the rules. People just have to follow rules. So like, can I see your vaccine card? And they're like, what? And they just start yelling and screaming. It's just like, it's unnecessary. It's like, they don't want to do it either. It's just, we're just trying to do our best during a pandemic. And that's all it takes. So whatever.
So again, Tony Figs joining us here. Very talented musician, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Good to be back in the studios in Newburyport. We've been talking a lot about the COVID and the virus and the comeback here for him. I wonder, I was thinking about this when you told me about the bad room you played. Has you ever had like let's face it, you get out there, you might have somebody who's had a little too much to drink. You might have just some jerks out there. What's the advice for like shutting down like just a bad audience member? We've all seen it, right?
Yeah. Usually I've been very fortunate where the managers kind of like get out of the way.
Yeah.
I remember I guess this is a good thing, but I remember these girls at the Derby. I've been playing there a lot, so I'm gonna use that as a reference a lot. But they've been they were dancing, they're just having a good time, and then the girl just drops the other girl and just slams. I'm just like playing like, oh my god, and the manager's like, all right, and then he just like puts like a little barrier and he's like, no more. And then so I guess other times I tell them like, don't do that, but they don't really listen.
So it just went down dancing.
Went down like hard, like they were doing like, I don't know if it was a curtsy, I don't know what they were trying to do, but you just hear a thought. I'm like, oh my god.
You keep playing?
Yeah.
I know no other way.
That's it. You gotta play through it. That's it.
It's gonna be something seeing that in the.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I'll just keep singing my little song.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
that's hilarious. Speaking of singing a song, you want to do one more?
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Tony Figs again joining us here from Salem. Go check him out. Next gig again?
Next game would be Saturday, Friday from 4 to 7 at the Derby, and you'll be there celebrating my birthday. That's on Monday. So we're doing
it's
like
a
week-
birthday
yeah.
show.
Yeah, so
Very
it's
good.
the weekend show that I'll be playing. He just invited me back. They did a little hiatus, but I'm back, and let's get after it.
You're younger than me. What are you turning? 18?
Yeah, I'm turning 34.
You're 34?
34.
Oh, so you are my age.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 35, but okay.
Yeah.
I had to take this younger. You got the younger looks.
Yeah.
Somebody, Sarah's yelling happy birthday out there. I'm sorry. That's not Sarah. Somebody's out there. She's out there somewhere. Somebody's yelling happy birthday. But, well, happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Very
it.
good. Happy 34. It's a good year.
Yeah, I think the 30 has been very pleasant to me. So
Let's do it not in a pandemic, maybe. Let's
Yeah,
get out of this. And we can...
exactly.
All right. Take it away. Tony Figs on Joppa Afternoon Drive.
This one's Queen of Hearts.
And you play this hand so well. Queen of Hearts was always your fave. Gambling these feelings away while you wear that scarlet A. I fold, I cannot stay and act like you want me to play. So goodbye, the apple in my eye. I move on and slowly fade. I still love you every day, and I'll still love you every day. Torn up by the bottle on my lips, contemplating all these bad thoughts. Folding every queen I've ever had. Kings can't be as powerful without their eye. And so wait for a chance, another romance. Thinking my cards can win you back. Until that joker comes for your heart, smile disappears. I fold down my heart again and sing this song. You play this hand so well. Queen of Hearts was always your fave. Gambling these feelings away while you wear that scarlet A. I fold, I cannot stay and act like you want me to play. So goodbye, the apple in my eye. I move on and slowly fade. You play this hand so well. Queen of Hearts was always your fave. Gambling these feelings away while you wear that scarlet A. And I fold, I cannot stay and act like you want me to play. So goodbye, the apple in my eye. I move on and slowly fade.
All right, Tony Figs on Joppa Afternoon Drive. Nicely done, sir. Beautiful
Thank
voice
you,
over
thank
there.
you.
Enjoy it very much. You sound great.
Thank you.
Must be. It's probably kind of weird singing at the daytime hours for you. You used to. Well, I guess you do a 4:00 show, so you're not always late.
Not always late, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Sometimes it's tough on musicians to come in and do a daytime show.
Oh yeah.
We're not a morning show, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I was that guy. Then I started being like, the daytime's good for me. A little brunch action or like late lunch or kind of like early dinner.
You don't mind picking up a brunch show?
No, not at all. I kind of do that. I was gonna do that before the pandemic, and that kind of shut down. But that's okay. Wherever I can get it, that's how I say.
There will be other brunches.
Exactly.
Who is the person that made you, or was there a person that made you pick up the guitar? Do you remember it?
Yeah. So the best story about this is my best friend, my father. I remember I was playing air guitar in my room, punk teenager, just playing air guitar. My dad's like, "Oh, you should actually play the real guitar." I was like, "Nah, I'm too cool for that. I play sports." So the next day, I come home from school and there's a guitar with a note saying that you have guitar lessons at 4:30.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So and then I just took off from there. That's one of my favorite stories because if it wasn't for him, I would not be playing this. So
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. He's awesome.
That is a great story. Very good. Yeah, it was good advice as it turned out.
Yeah, seriously. He knew what he was talking about, like all fathers do sometimes. So
Yeah, I hopefully you found some ways to say thank you there. And those, this was a really great gift.
yeah, exactly. It's been
Guitar
great.
lesson was guitar lessons a enjoyable thing for you right off
Oh
the bat?
yeah. So I had this guitar teacher for 2 years, and he was awesome. I remember playing, not really getting the music theory, so I was really frustrated. Once again,
Remember him? You can name drop him.
His name is Steve. He passed away, unfortunately.
Oh,
but
sorry.
that's all right. You know, life goes on, and that's all you can do. I remember me being the aggravated teenage kid trying to like, I don't want to do this anymore. And he's like, "How about this? You bring your favorite CD in, and we'll go ahead and learn songs by ear." And it really established my guitar playing because I'm better at picking stuff up by ear than I am by look at the music theory. So, but he was awesome. He taught me a lot, like a lot of my teachers. But he was the one that just kept me going. Like he just was inspiring. So
Fell in love right away, huh?
yeah, definitely. Especially when your guitar teacher's play. He's like, you like Blink-182? I was like, yeah, it's really hard stuff to play. He's like, it's not really. But so,
Bill, yeah, you mentioned them earlier in the show. It's funny because they were so big. Like we were in high school at the same time. They were. I don't think like kids realize how big Blink-182 was.
like massive. Like once again in his documentary, like Tom DeLonge was my favorite. He's my favorite guitar player. That's not saying much, but there's a lot more out there. But I remember when he was breaking up with Blink, he's like, their last show was they had close to 100,000 people, and he's like, I think this is why I needed to go. And he's like, I'm not gonna get any better than that. I was like, that's a lot of people. So
yeah, they're certainly not the first band to do that. I mean, go out on top with a huge show like that.
Yeah,
I remember when we talk about that story, I always talk about another band we talked about. I think off the air, can't remember if it was on the show or off the show, but Dispatch.
Yeah,
we did that last Dispatch at the Common. People hanging off trees, shutting down the city of Boston, and like they're like, okay, we're done. That was it. And I'm like, wait, what? You can't be
play
done
forever.
Now. You can't be done now. It's like, but some bands don't want to be. I don't know. Like I get it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like that's just it's one of those things. Like it's just sometimes you want to do your own thing and not be under the spotlight as much. And I get it. No, I get that. So
they've all gone on and they're back together again, like so many other bands. They're also not the first band to get back together.
Exactly.
But, what's the so we got the steady gig kind of at the Derby, which is cool. It's must be nice actually to kind of have those steady gigs.
Yeah.
Because I know it's like, I mean, when you see your work, your livelihood kind of disappear in a pandemic, it's like, let's get some routine going as quickly as possible, right?
Exactly. It was tough, especially even like I was dependent on it, and then it just kind of like, because it was my first opportunity to actually do something that I love and be passionate about, and I had jobs that I was passionate about, but with music it's just on another scale. And then
message to your past bosses.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're your own boss, you can do your own thing, and it's just great. But yeah, no, it's been I've been very fortunate, very lucky. It's been a lot of fun. It's been keeping that 2 years or a year where I was just not playing music is just fulfilling it with just better memories, and it's been a lot of fun. So awesome.
Anything different on this other side of? I know we're not out of the pandemic yet, but we're kind of we're going in the right direction.
Yeah,
I know we talked about audiences a little bit.
Yeah.
That. I mean, maybe some more gigs. Hopefully that's true. I wonder if there's like I mean, do you appreciate it more?
I do appreciate it a lot more.
You think you took it for granted a little bit?
Well, me being a musician, but I miss going to like my favorite concerts. Like my sister and I, we used to go to concerts. We used to go like at least 10 shows a year, and just that being gone, we're like, oh, this is
huge void.
It just hurts. It's just like, I want it all back, and then you just take it for granted. But now it's just like,
it's funny. I went into the Garden last night, as I said, for the Celtics game, and I'm walking in there, and all I could think of was like, I've been doing a lot of smaller shows. Like I'll see a lot of the people that I have on the show. I'll go out and see them, but I haven't been like to I guess this summer I did a couple, but not as many as I usually do. I usually do like more like 10 shows a year, big ones and stuff. And So I hadn't been to like the Garden in ages. They rebuilt the whole city is changing. by the
Wild,
way.
right?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess it's probably only been 6 months for me since like driving through, but I mean, even in 6 months, it's like new businesses. And
It's just like so much newer.
Yeah. I like, okay, I'm starting to see that big dig plan, I guess. Like, it's starting to look like a real nice state-of-the-art city. But I'm walking into the Garden, and I was like, there's that like kind of feel of that place, and like I was really wishing. I love the Celtics too. I'm a sports guy. I like basketball, but I was wishing I was going to like see a concert. And I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta get into like see one of my favorite music. I'm just to have that itch.
That's it. Because I love sports too, but it's nothing better than just being like in a live show.
Yeah.
I remember just like the last band I saw there was the Arctic Monkeys, and I remember them just putting on a heck of a show.
Yeah,
It's like,
good band.
yeah, so
I always say, like, when it comes down to sports and music, always choose music.
yeah,
Just-
always and forever.
Usually won't let you down.
Yeah.
The sports can let you down.
Yeah, it's definitely heartbreaking a lot of the time. So
But yeah, even if I don't know, it just there's too many, like, I don't know. Always choose music.
Yeah,
Always
exactly.
connect. And so it was a good game last night.
yeah, it was. It'd be a good team. So Charlotte's pretty tough with the mellow and stuff. So
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he
I like
is.
to watch. He's exciting to watch. He's got that kind of flair to him.
yeah, it's crazy how young he's like. He's only like what 21, 22.
I know.
It's like
It's actually all those guys. So I don't know about you. You seem to be a basketball fan, so it's you kind of watch these guys, and you get to the point where like I'm a big college guy, so I'm like, oh yeah, I remember where like all of these guys went to school. I remember watching them. Wait a minute, I was out of college when I was watching them. Wait, why? I'm getting older. Damn.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're saying about they're showing the quarterbacks that we grew up with, like Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. And it's like these guys are all gonna pass it to the new generation. I'm like, oh my god, like this is, it's hitting us. That's it.
It is crazy.
That's just life.
Well, it's good. I think I've said it on the show before. Sometimes my real life and show life merges together. But I had this guy who retired, and I always kind of picked his brain a little bit, working in the newsroom in Boston back in the day, and like my first early years, I just thought he was an interesting. You know those people like that just are interesting kind of older guys. Like,
Yes,
you just
absolutely.
kind of like they've seen a few things, and like you just kind of respect their viewpoint on things.
Absolutely.
There was this guy in Art Cohen who I used to work with in the newsroom, and long story short, my sense was right on that. He went to Woodstock. He like had all these stories, great stories about Woodstock. Didn't love it actually.
Really?
He was like not a great music experience actually. Like it's
Wow.
it turned into something. I won't get into why, but
Yeah.
he said maybe I needed some more of the drugs that the other people were doing. But no. Anyway, so one thing that he said to me, and I swear this was at least 10 years ago, he said this to me, and I'll never forget the line. But I had a birthday, and some of the guys were giving me crap about, oh, you're getting old, you're gonna be like us someday. And one of Art looks at me and goes, life gets a lot more interesting as you get older.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it stuck with me, and I'm like, you know what? He's kind of right.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel
Yeah.
like you're living, you learn. But like I've been loving this. Like the past few years, I'm like I'm kind of digging it. Like you learn more. And
you learn some of the what is Tom Brady always used to say in football. He's like, yeah, when you get older, I kind of know the answers to the tests.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, exactly.
it gets a little easier. Too. Not necessarily easier, but
And you realize it's like when I go out drinking now, it's like you see these young kids like take a shot. Like nope, I'll just stick to a couple beers and I'll just head home.
Yeah.
It's like it's just.
So you're not going to be great in a little while.
Yeah.
You're not going to make that game.
You could be hurting. You're gonna feel it. So
Yes, I feel like the drinking thing you kind of learn early.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take it only takes a few bad experiences to do that.
that is very true. Yes.
So where can people find your music? I know you said Spotify, but
So you can find us on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're on every music platform. Amazon Music. I think we did have another platform, but I think we took it down. But just because of COVID. Yeah, mostly Spotify. Well, not mostly Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, and you can find us as Your Favorite Color, YFC. I think our Instagram handle, if you can't find it, mine's Figgies for You, FIGGIES FORU, and then we have YFC as Coloring Books with a Z. I'm pretty sure. I felt a lot of the Instagram stuff is handled by my good friend Chico, and Ben. So it's like kind of hard to like. But if you go on mine, you'll see that I'm there with them. They're awesome guys.
Cool.
I can't wait to hit the studio with them.
So you can give him some good feedback too, and you enjoyed his appearance on the show. There you go.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, Tony Figs, man, it has been a pleasure. I've enjoyed meeting you.
It's been great to be here. This is great.
Excellent songs. Thank you for coming in and playing. I
you for
have a
having me.
spoiled job, man. It's like coming and get a free little cut. It's kind of nice though, right? It's the scaled down little performance.
I would love it. This is great. It's good for you too.
Well, it won't be the last time.
All
How
right.
about that?
Awesome.
Yeah, actually, can I do my little Howard Stern? I see him do this all the time. I'm gonna go his route. Can you play us out? Can you fake the head in the heart thing we were doing earlier?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's be a nice little play out since we kind of started the show talking about that. Be a nice little come full circle. That would be fun. Tony Figs, thank you, man. This has been great. Live Jop Afternoon Drive. Hope everybody's doing well out there. A little warm out there today. Feels like spring a little bit. Hope everybody's doing all right. Sarah Blackstone, thank you so much. And again, Tony Figs, been a great guest here. We'll let
Thank
him
you for
play
having
us
me.
out with a little head in the heart there. Very nice, sir.